What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Frank Gore Jr. This video clip went viral everywhere, and he is getting a lot of pushback because of him politely moving his aunt, his over exuberant aunt, out of the interview view while he's conducting an interview. Now, he plays at the University of Southern Miss. His father, Frank Gore, played in the NFL for a very long time. He's out of the University of Miami. It's a shame that he didn't go to the University of Miami, but that was the fault, I believe, of the previous coaching staff. But Frank Gore played in the league for a long time, especially for a running back. He was a running back that had longevity. And now he's gotten into boxing, right? And his son is carrying on the family lineage of being a great college running back. I think he, as a junior, has the potential to play in the NFL. I do believe he will play in the NFL and probably start. That's how good that I believe he is. But we're not talking about how good of a football player he is and how good of a game that he had. We're talking about his aunt. There were people that didn't like the fact that he moved out. First off, y'all don't know the relationship he has with his aunt. You know what I'm saying? Him and his aunt probably have that type of relationship where she does things, he has to calm her down, because that's basically what he was doing. He was kind of calming her down, he understands that she's excited, but again, he's giving an interview, right? And he doesn't want to, because that's his moment. That's his moment to be able to speak, because I don't think he's ever given a post-game interview to ESPN. So he has this really great game, and that's his time to speak. And then his aunt, out of nowhere, runs up to him while he's giving his interview. It wasn't like he was just standing there and talking to off camera. Like he's giving an on camera interview. You only have but so much time you can give this interview, and I think he had that awareness. I don't think it's because he dislikes his aunt, right? But it was just the moment. He should be able to have that moment to speak in the interview. I don't think he's had a TV interview like this before. And she just comes running up. Again, I understand that she's excited for him, but that was his moment. And I think that there are people taking this the wrong way. There really are. This is a 21-year-old, right? 21-year-old giving an interview. We don't know the type of relationship him and his aunt probably have this type of relationship all the time when she's a certain type of way, I don't think he dislikes her. I don't think he was trying to embarrass her, but that's how people are trying to push this narrative. And it's sickening to see. It really is, because he's a young guy that's giving a post-game interview, and he's trying to do that, right? But let's get into it. Actually, we're going to look at the SI article. It says Frank Gore Jr. on interview bombing relative Auntie chill. Frank Gore Jr. enjoyed one of the best games in FBS Bowl history on Saturday, and naturally his family were excited for him. Unfortunately, one of his family members got a little too excited, resulting in a hilarious and viral moment after a record-breaking performance. Gore, the son of former NFL running back Frank Gore, set the new FBS Bowl record with 329 rushing yards in Southern Miss's 38-24 win over Rice in the Lending Tree Bowl game. After the game, the Southern Miss running back was being interviewed on the field by ESPN's Alyssa Lang, where an excited family member barged into the camera shot, leading to Gore saying, "Auntie, chill." Now, this is the moment that got some people in their feels.
Grateful for these guys right here. They opened up lanes and just I knew how important this was for our team. Auntie, chill. I knew how important this is.
And that one clip. Now, he just had a great game, but this one clip got people in their feelings. Go look at these comment sections of these blogs. There are people that are saying that they would have put hands on Frank Gore Jr. if they were the auntie and they would have shoved them out of the way. This is how these people think. Not the fact that she sees that he having this interview, and she runs up to him anyway.
Grateful for these guys right here. They opened up lanes and just I knew how important this was for our team. Auntie, chill. I knew how important this is.
He's there, he has his offensive lineman behind him. He has his O-lineman behind him, and he's trying to give praise to his teammates and talk about the game. And here come Auntie, right? Here come Auntie, and that's all people can talk about, right? Not the great game that he had, but the fact that he wouldn't let his Auntie join in on the camera time. As a family member, you have to have self-awareness. Okay, that's just like when your home team wins. And they have rules like, hey, you have to wait a certain time before you can run on the field. You can't run on the field with 5 seconds on the clock and your home team is up by like 5, right? Against the opponent. And then right before the game is over, 5 seconds ago, it says 10 seconds. It get to like 10, 9, 8, 7, and you already hopping on the field to run on the field when the game has not been called officially. There's just certain things you shouldn't be doing. And she got to understand that, right? We ain't talking about somebody young. We're talking about an older family member. And again, I don't think Frank Gore Jr. was trying to embarrass his aunt. I think that he kind of understood the situation. Listen, I only got a certain amount of time to do this interview. Let me go and, praise my offensive linemen, and teammates. But that's not what people want to talk about. You got people that are really getting upset at this guy because he wouldn't give his auntie some camera time. Like, come on, like he's going to acknowledge his family. Even you don't see his dad running up to him while he's giving an interview. So why is the auntie running up to him giving an interview while he's doing the interview? And people are upset at him because they feel like, he snubbed his aunt. No, his aunt shouldn't have ran up to the camera. She should have understood what was going on instead of running up to him while he's giving this interview. Gore was in the middle of praising his offensive line when his aunt grabbed some camera time while screaming with excitement. Her glee is understandable. Gore broke the previous bowl record of 317 rushing yards set by Appalachian State Cameron Peoples in 2020 Myrtle Beach Bowl against North Texas. Once again, people, this was his moment. I don't understand why people are upset at him because he sort of, moved out of the way. That was about him. That's not about you, Aunt. He's going to acknowledge you. He's going to see you, but you have to give him that moment, right? It's like when y'all see these players giving interviews, right? And you got the fans, again, I'm using an analogy, that storm the field. And the winning team's quarterback or wide receiver or defensive player, they're giving a post-game interview, and you see them behind the player motioning and all that. They're like, woo, but, they're not trying to run up to the camera. They're sort of walking past it, right? There have been situations where fans have run up behind players while they're giving post-game interviews. But in this situation, the aunt was really like, hey, he like, hold up. Hold on now, let me get this interview first. I want to make sure I praise these, these linemen that really helped me in this game. And again, I don't think it's a slight at the aunt at all. I think people took this the wrong way and they're trying to make this into something that is not. He's a talented football player that had a really, really good game. And that's what we should talk about. We should talk about the great game he had instead of the snubbing of his aunt. So let me know in the comments section, let me know your thoughts, like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see y'all next one.